I didn't get one thing that was super important to get done today. What the fuck happened?
Hey, humans! What's up, everybody? It's the Human Music Podcast.
Hey.
Bam, 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 bam. Hit that air horn, because we're humans and that's what we like best.
Have y'all used a rave horn in your music?
Not once.
Only for shits. Like I've never used it moderately. It's always been like 20 air horns. Like, let's see if we can make a song with just air horns.
Challenge for the podcast. Fucking.
That could be a good episode.
Make a song only out of rave horns.
I don't know if y'all listeners have noticed this, but we've come up with a lot of challenges and have delivered on 0 of them.
No, don't tell them.
No, they're on our exclusive Patreon for $197 a month. You could watch us make all the popular hits from air horns only.
Okay, well, now you've done it. Now you've
I've spoken into existence.
You've pulled the veil back. People have seen that we have been very, very thinly promised on the delivery of our fucking challenges. Maybe we should actually do one.
We're challenged, man.
Actually, not true. We did have one challenge that was do that bleep loop thing, and I actually tried it.
True.
Okay, you got us there. You come up with the challenges usually, and so far you are the only one of the 3 of us that has done anything about them. So I will give you that.
Points.
Damn, called out. I think I called us out.
Yeah,
never ever following through on the challenges. Oh man, music producer problems for real though, right? Like we are perpetually working on way too many things at once, meaning to go back and finish so many things. Also starting a fucking podcast and then trying to get along with a normal job and a music producer teaching job. And oh boy, sometimes shit falls through the cracks.
Yeah.
What's currently down between the couch cushions of life for you guys right now? Shoes just hit me up today like, yo, man, you ever record that vocal you wrote for that song that you said you finished writing a month and a half ago? Like, oh, thanks for the reminder, buddy. I'll do that after the podcast taping tonight. Ooh.
That's right next to all the podcast challenges that I forgot about.
Oh no, I actually wrote that shit. I just never bothered recording it. I never started any of the podcast challenge songs.
That's how it goes.
Man.
Honestly, I've been neglecting going outside. I got my walk too, and sometimes from work, but it's been raining hard here. We had like a tornado warning the other day. We've been getting hailstorms in June. It's just been crazy here in Calgary, man. So sometimes I don't even get to walk home from work, and then podcast, working on music lessons, all that shit. Like, I need to get that vitamin D, you know? Like that organic, locally sourced C137 vitamin D.
Locally sourced from 93 million miles away.
Yeah.
Right in the neighborhood. Didn't even have to leave the solar system for it.
Man, it's so hard. It feels like even with that, there's so much shit that gets left on the back burner. Like, I feel like you have to actively push things into the couch cushion and shift up your priorities every once in a while. Otherwise, yeah, it's just never going to happen. There's never an end goal.
There's a few projects that I've got going on, like, you know, ongoing ventures with people that they kind of fell off. And I was like, oh, thank God. I'm not going to mention it until they do. Because when they're ready, maybe I'll have a sliver of time to give them. But as long as they're not mentioning it, I'm going to go work on other shit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's real. All like we were talking about last week, like if you want to be in flow state working on music, like there's a lot of shit you gotta let sit between the couch cushions. And then if it's important, someone will probably remind you. Like, damn.
Thanks, Shoes. Appreciate you, buddy.
Think of it like that, but it is kind of a ruthless strategy to be like hyper productive is like all of the stuff that matters will resurface in your life one way or another. Like maybe it's you didn't pay your taxes and the IRS is like, yo, homie, you didn't pay your taxes. You're like, well, I intentionally didn't do that for 10 years so I could write more music, and now I have the money to pay it. Here you guys. Like, the important shit's going to come back around. Some are going to be worse than others. Most are probably going to be someone like, hey, did you ever do that? And you're like, no, but I will.
Definitely not.
Now that it's important, now that it's really important, I'll do it.
Yeah, it rings true with that, like, I want to say, like, savage advice of, like, when people ask you, like, how do I get more time to do music, or how do I get the time to work out, or it's just like, well, you take some shit, you make a pros and cons list, you take some shit, and you say, well, it's been a good ride, I can't do this no more, and then you take that time and you allocate it to something else, and that's just the way it is.
Savagely prioritize.
It is savage sometimes, because you got to push things aside in your life to make that time, because everybody's got the same 24 hours and you can only neglect sleep for so long. So, you know, if you really want to make something happen, you have to, like, reorganize your priority list and make sure you're hitting the stuff you want to do higher up in that priority list, because there's no guarantee, especially if you're working a job, you know, you come home, you might knock off one or two things, and some days you got the willpower to keep going, some days you're just totally done for the day, and it's what it is.
It's true. Burnout is real, and it's funny how the day-to-day burnout is, like, semi-unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like maybe you polished a bottle of wine off by yourself, or maybe 2 bottles of wine with a significant other. That happens frequently. And then you wake up the next day and you're like, fuck, I'm kind of sluggish this morning. Was it the wine, or is it just like I'm on an off day? You know, it's like that kind of shit, like, weighs on you, like the guilt of unproductiveness, like, it weighs on you. But it's also, like I said, very unpredictable. Some days I get 8 hours of sleep, 9 hours of sleep. I fucking came prepared. I went to bed at 9:30, motherfucker. I'm waking up at 6 a.m., 8.5 hours of sleep, and I'm gonna fucking destroy this day. And then it's 2 p.m. and I'm like, fuck, I didn't get one thing that was super important to get done today. What the fuck happened? I got all the sleep in the world, and I've just been feeling like a turd all day. I don't get it, you know? That's why I think, in my opinion, it's really important, like, the good days, you got to fucking leverage those. And that's why I also don't get down on myself. If I have 8 hours to work on something and say, like, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours of that end up being unproductive, but that there were 3 hours in there where I was just fucking crushing shit, I'm okay with that. You know, because it's tough to be 100% productive all of the time. It's almost impossible, right? But you got to understand, at least it's the same thing with, like, working at, like, a fucking soul suck job. Probably 1 hour out of that 8 hours where you're sitting at your desk was, like, really productive. Like, you got, like, 90% of the shit done that day that you needed to get done, that was on your to-do list, that people were expecting of you, in 1 hour. You know?
Oh, I know. Yeah, bodies are weird, man. I've learned so much about myself since I started living alone. I feel like, I don't know if some of the stuff I just had, like, family around and like dogs, and my attention was diverted to multiple places, so I didn't think about some stuff. I didn't think about certain things as much as I do now. But now I feel like sometimes I can't even tell if I'm run down or if I'm getting sick or whatever, or if I'm just overthinking these things because they're so mild. But then I'm also like, well, you're your human meat suit is literally this like 24-hour-a-day machine till you croak that's fighting off all these bacteria and doing all these processes and digesting food, food, thinking, creating waste. Well, I said digestion, but whatever. It's doing all these things. It's pumping your blood. It's whatever. It expends a lot of energy is my main point. And I feel like I either underestimated that as a kid, or my body is notably deteriorated since. Because I'm like you said, sometimes you come home and you're like, man, I was so pumped up 2 hours ago when I was at work, but now I just came home and like I am useless.
Yeah, that is such a thing. Like so my job in my previous life as a robot was
now he's a human.
Now I'm a human again with the rest of you humans. And so my schedule was I had to be at work at 6, but I was off at 3. And at 1 o'clock, almost every day, after having my cup of coffee after lunch, my caffeine intake was out of control, by the way. I would have probably at least 1 cup of coffee when I showed up to work, another one at 8 or 9. And I this 8 or 9 was sometimes 2/3 of the time. After lunch, definitely another cup of coffee, or I'm taking a fucking snooze right at my desk. So 3 cups of coffee, and then if I was working out that day, pre-workout on the way home, and then hit the gym. We're talking fucking 4+ cups of coffee worth of caffeine. But anyways, at 1 o'clock, my motivation to get shit done on the list of shit that I had is bursting out the seams. Fuck, I can't wait to get home. I'm gonna fucking hammer this out and this and this and this and this. And then you walk through that door, and then all of a sudden it's, ooh, fuck, that couch looks pretty comfortable.
I wonder what's on Netflix.
I'll just sit down and just take a nap for 10 minutes.
Oh.
And then the funny part is I can convince myself to do that because when I take a 15-minute nap after work, before working on music, and get up after 15 minutes, productivity through the roof, mental clarity, refresh.
Kudos to you, sir.
The
power naps. Woo!
The
I
issue
cannot.
is that to hold yourself to that, to get up and actually sit down at the desk and start working after 15 minutes is really tough. Throw your phone across the room with that alarm that is full volume, and then even then, you might turn it off and go lie back down on the couch because sometimes your willpower to control your ape is a little lower than usual.
You want to know a power nap hack, though?
Yeah, definitely.
Don't lay down in bed. Do not lay down on the couch. Lay your ass down on that patch of floor that I can see behind you, Evan, on the carpet. Just lay flat on your back, no pillow, no blanket. Set that 15-minute alarm and just close your eyes and don't move. You probably won't even fall asleep. Just don't move, don't open your eyes, and then the alarm goes off and you're like, I'm not comfortable. I'm kind of comfortable, but I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
That alarm's annoying. I can see the computer. I might as well get up. If you're in another room on a comfy ass couch, you brought your pillow and blanket, you laid on your side, you got all snuggled in. No way you're getting your ass up. You're gonna be like, 2 more power naps. Just let me hit that snooze a few times.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be fucked because you're gonna be mental fog. You're gonna want food. Yeah.
I love that idea to actually lie down somewhere uncomfortable. I had read research that if you're gonna take a power nap, actually lie down in bed with the lights off because you get restful sleep. I'm the type of person that I could lie down on the fucking floor, and after 5 minutes, I'll probably be dreaming until 15 when my alarm goes off, and that means it is restful sleep, but also, man, that alarm at 15 minutes is fucking harsh, man.
I find they're way worse at 30 minutes.
I was experimenting for a while. I found that 22 minutes was a sweet spot, but also the margin of error at 22 minutes for me, snoozing was worse. So between 12 and 15, is not lucid enough that I can force myself to get up and pretty consistently continue working on something. What I found is if I put my phone on the desk in front of my computer with the alarm, and then I'm not sitting where I can reach. I have to walk over and basically sit down at my computer with my phone to turn it off. All right, I'm already here. Let's get into it. And the funny part is, like, that mental fog of like just waking up after a power nap seems insurmountable. But 2 minutes into working on something, and you're like, wow, I feel refreshed. I'm glad that I did that. I'm hammering shit out. So it does work. But I really like your tip of just fucking lie down on the floor. I'm going to try that. Lie down on the floor, put my phone on my desk. I got to get up, sit down on my desk, turn the phone off. I'm already here. Better start working.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You ever do the caffeine nap where you like take the shot of espresso or drink a little cup of coffee and then lay down and set that 15-minute timer? So it hasn't hit you yet when you lay down, but it has fully hit you by the time the alarm goes off. And you're like, oh, shit, I am wide awake.
I learned that from one of my homies in college who would set his alarm for 15 minutes before he really had to get out of bed. Fucking the alarm goes off. He's got a 5-hour energy on top of his phone. Crack that shit, chug it, go back to sleep. Doesn't matter when your alarm goes off after that. At some point, you're going to be like, boom, oh, I'm ready to go. Yeah, brother.
God, I totally forgot I used to do that in the university days, man. Just put a few caffeine pills on the phone.
Man, yeah, caffeine pills never been my jam. I've always been like either coffee or like go full Red Bull mode.
See, Red Bull, is too sweet for me. I had a friend actually that recommended I start doing that. He would just get chocolate covered coffee beans from like Bulk Barn. I don't know if you guys got
those.
That.
Are fucking cracking, bro. I don't know what the fuck a Bulk Barn is, but chocolate covered espresso beans are shit.
Bulk Barn is just a store where you go to, obviously, get everything in bulk. It's literally just like bins and bins and bins and bins of like candy, cooking, like spices, or like cooking chocolate, or anything you need.
I mean, the name
in
lets
bulk.
me know what it is.
And it just got bins and scoopers, and you scoop out whatever you need into bags, and you just buy as much as you want of like various shit. But
I bet that place is a great place to be during COVID. Just bins and scooper. Everybody grab the same scooper. Open this big bin. Breathe on it.
I wonder if they're running.
Put your hand in there and grab your favorites.
A fistful of gummy bears for the road.
Yeah, make sure you taste test too so you don't get the bad stuff.
I love that idea. As like a little snack, just fucking chocolate covered coffee beans. Do they have a appreciation with the caffeine in them? Because it's just the bean, not roasted. I don't think.
You said it helped.
No, they're roasted.
Yeah, I would assume they would be roasted.
I'm looking this shit up.
Probably wouldn't taste too good otherwise.
They're 100% roasted. They're not like green coffee beans.
No, I know, but like the process of grinding the coffee and then running hot water over it is what extracts the amount of caffeine that actually does something to us, rather than just eating the bean. I think that you're missing something.
I mean, I got a lot of water in me. Pretty sure I'm 80% or whatever, right?
So a chocolate-covered espresso bean usually contains 2 to 4 milligrams of caffeine. An average cup of coffee is 180 milligrams of caffeine. You got to eat 90 fucking chocolate-covered espresso beans to get the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee. That doesn't
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, but do you need a whole cup of coffee to wake you up?
Yeah.
Yes.
See,
I'm an addict.
Yeah, but I also feel like you drink the cup, like there's like residual effects. It's like when you're taking like multiple bong hits, you got to calculate from like 2 bong hits ago to be like, all right, should I continue from here, or should I wait a minute? Coffee is like, I feel like halfway through that cup, you're like good, but by the time you wake up, you're going to drink that other half, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to drink the whole rest of the French press.
Yeah.
and if it was a whole big coffee maker pot, I'll just keep pouring it because it's delicious, and I like that stimulant, it turns out.
I've been really trying to cut, or not even cut down on caffeine, but just use it strategically and have off days. Cause I will definitely get to where you are, Luke, where I'm just like having like 8 cups a day and I like can't sit still, but each cup I can tell is making me more tired. What's up?
I love being that fucking jacked up on coffee where I'm like, my legs are bouncing and shit. I'm just like hammering shit out. Like,
see, so do I, but it gets to the point where I'll have a cup of coffee and feel instantly tired. Like I could wake up in the morning and have a cup of coffee and I feel more tired. And then I'll be like, all right, I just need another cup. And then I'll have another cup and I'm like, man, today it's 12. Like I'm ready for bed.
I've heard that that's a function of dehydration. And like, it's like just like when you drink alcohol, you're actually, even though it's mostly water, you're net dehydrating yourself because you've got to pee so much to get all that crap out of you. Same with a bunch of coffee and caffeine. And so it's like, oh, say something, Evan, so we can see that shit. It's still on me.
Oh, I'm just trying to get both in at the same time. It's cool.
Oh, no, we still don't got you on camera because Tesko was laughing so loud.
Yeah, we'll pin him.
Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about me. I'm just getting both the things that I need at this current moment.
There we go. Oh, yeah, but so I mean, wake up in the morning and drink some goddamn water. That's what I have to tell myself.
Yeah.
One of my phone alarms that pops up in the morning literally says, get your hydration on. So the first thing I read in the morning when I look at my phone just says, get your hydration on.
Hey, please tell me that with that reminder, you used our Rave Gravy song as the alarm.
I wish. I really should.
Oh my God.
It's not on my phone. It's only on my computer.
Oh, no. Put it on your phone. Cut it to the part where it's the B section that's get your hydration on. Hey, get your hydration on. Oh, my God. But
and send that
get your hydration on.
Yeah, you're the one that sang it, man. I need you.
I like it. What's up, humans? It's Luke, your friendly neighborhood trap Jesus. Thank you so much for watching our videos. We appreciate you. Remember to like and subscribe to our channels. And if you have any questions or topics that we need to cover on the show, put them in the comments. Appreciate you. Peace and peace among worlds.